guys, so what I want to do really quick is to talk about the spiritual signs that I had been getting since, I don't want to say since the beginning of time, but I'm just going to pick some really good ones. When you become so present, you begin to see the world on a completely different spectrum. You begin to see strange things that you don't normally see. And the thing is, the universe has always been communicating with you, but you've been so focused on other things. You've placed your mind on, the norm, the situations of life, the conflicts of life, the happiness of life. It's like you pay attention to the things that you think are just normal. But then, like, when you begin to really pay attention intensely, when you begin to look around, like right now I'm looking around at this very moment, I see the trees, I see the flowers, I see the grass and little lilies blowing through the wind. Like, when you get really detailed, when you begin to listen intensely, when you begin to feel intensely, you begin to see things differently, and you begin to pick up on a lot of signs. And the universe communicates with me in so many ways. It's through my dreams. It's whether I'm out and about and I hear a thought, or I feel something, or I get like numbers, I get signs out and about. I get signs of numbers in my dreams. I get signs from people. Sometimes I have people that will literally walk up to me and say, hey, I just got this message and I feel that you need to know this. And I was just really blown away by all of the messages that I was getting. I'm going to start with the numbers. The numbers that I would see are divine numbers. These aren't just numbers just randomly out of the blue. These are numbers that have come to me because the universe wants to give me a specific message. I've seen 1111. I've seen 1111 so many times, and usually I would see 1111 in the most alarming times. These are the times where I'm not even expecting to see 1111, and I see it. And it's just like, when you see 1111, pay attention to what you are doing, pay attention to what you are thinking about when you get it, because usually 1111 is confirmation that whatever you are doing, whatever you are thinking about, that is the universe saying, yes, you are aligning your path in the right way. Just be happy that you're seeing this number, because that's their confirmation that whatever you're doing, you're aligning into the right path. I've seen 911, which is healing, the time of healing. I will see that number, and I know that I'm like going through a lot, like with people from the past, and just really shedding a lot of things that had happened. I am basically reshifting my entire identity, or what I thought my identity was, due to past situations, due to past concepts that have been placed on me. I'm shedding all of that away. And it's really hard for me, because now my true authentic self is coming out, and not this ego that I've created due to the past. So I've seen 911. I've seen 111, which is another message. I have gotten 111 from sleeping. The message, and it's really interesting how I got this message, because I got this message from Clairaudience, and I also got this message from Clairsentience, where I was sleeping on my yoga mat, and this message started off with like a power of energy. And what happened was, it traveled from the ground all the way up to my legs, all the way up to my stomach, all the way through my arms, my hands. It even went through my Bible, and then it just traveled until it hit my brain muscle, and it said 111. And I'm like, okay, I've never experienced anything like this before, where like a message starts off as energy and then it travels through my body to hit my mind. This just goes to show that there was just no way that I could create this message, because that's exactly what happened. This was a message that came outside of me, and it entered me. So I've gotten 111, I've gotten 711, I've gotten 333. You guys, do some research on these numbers. Do some research on 1111, 911, 333, 111. What else? 000. I've gotten messages from that. Yes, definitely do some research on the divine numbers, because that is the best way for angels or the infinite divine or your spiritual guides can communicate with you, is using those numbers. I've gotten all kinds of messages to do speaking. I've gotten messages to do business. I've gotten messages to do acting. I've gotten messages to do real estate. I've gotten messages to study language. You know, Spanish is my biggest thing. And I've had gotten signs through Spanish music. Spanish music was a form of energy that traveled from the ground and into my body, and it hit my mind, and I got that song. The spiritual realm uses music also to communicate with you. Let's see, what else? You know, I was told to always be breathing consciously. Always be breathing consciously. This allows me to be more expansive within my being. I was told to eat healthier, to be more mindful with money, travel, staying connected with the messages. I've gotten messages for the love of science and physics, my love of spirituality. I've even seen messages, like actual mystical looking messages on the walls. Like I remember waking up, I would wake up from this spiritual dream, and then sometimes I feel like, you know what, maybe my mind is playing tricks on me. Maybe I'm just making it all up. Maybe this isn't real. Like, this is just so bizarre. Like, maybe this is just something that I'm creating. I looked up, and there was a word that was across my wall, and it said unconscious. And it really alarmed me, because at that point I'm just like, I'm unconscious. Like, what do you... Like, this was like in the beginning where everything kind of just happened. I would say this was months upon months ago when this happened. It's just like if you read the Bible, the book of Daniel, where Nebuchadnezzar saw like a hand. Nebuchadnezzar's message was way more scarier than my message, because he had like a physical, mystical looking hand writing on the wall. You know, with me, I just had like a word that appeared on the wall, and it said unconscious. And that it was true. Yes, I was unconscious. I was ignoring all of the spiritual messages that the universe was trying to tell me. And I was just, and you know what? I'm just really glad that the universe had a lot of patience with me. You know, they were very patient with me for years upon years to just get me to just freaking wake up. Like, they've been trying to get me to wake up for the longest. Like, I've seen Jesus in my dream. Like, Jesus, like physically, like in the dream, walked over to me and hugged me. And guys, it felt so real. It's like I felt it in the dream, but it's as if he was actually hugging me for real, like in this physical realm, as if he was hugging me while I was sleeping. And I just picked up that energy within the spiritual realm. It was just really amazing that I got to see Jesus a couple of times. I've even woken up and I've seen angels. I'm like, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, and it's usually from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And it's usually due to what I am feeling. And I know that, like, I'm like, wait, I wake up and I'm like, who's here? Because sometimes you can feel when someone is there. I woke up and I'm like, who's there? And I'm like looking around, and then I look up in the ceiling, and it was the angels flying around. And it was really hard to tell. I'm still trying to figure this out. It was kind of hard to tell if the angel was physically in the room, or if they were like above like the roof of the apartment and they projected their figure into my house, or they were in another dimension and then they projected themselves into my house. I have no idea how that worked. But all I know is that I felt its presence, and I was able to see it flying around. It was just a glowy white light. Speaking of glowy white lights, I've seen orbs. Like, if you go through my Instagram, I have proof. I have videos of orbs flying all through my videos. There's orbs flying through my current videos as we speak. I just haven't talked about it. But if you really look at my videos, you'll see these orbs that's just flying around. And I'm not controlling this whatsoever. Like, I don't wear anything shiny. And even if I were wearing something shiny, it would usually move in accordance with my body. These things move around like little fairies. I really think that they use birds to communicate with me, because this is something that is very distinct. This is something that I hear. Grounded. And I think this is going to be aid to your visualization. It's just like, say for example, I want to make the biggest trip. Oh my God, like this bird is like... And I've actually had a dream where there was this seagull that came at me, and I was very unsettled. There was this crow that came out of nowhere and attacked the mess out of it. And I just knew that I felt protected from this crow. And so ever since then, birds have always been communicating with me. Like it was this one time where I was like in yin yoga and I'm just trying to like do my yoga and I was like really sad and stuff. And I was thinking about a person at the time. We'll just call her, let's just call her Lisa. I'm just like thinking about Lisa and I'm just like, man, it really sucks that my friendship with Lisa